So we're finally here. All the Constructicons are together. All the reviews are done. There should be a playlist. You can go. Now it's time to combine them. And we're going to start with this. Now it might be completely obvious how this transforms, but we'll just do it anyway. So like fold these together. This is the connector. It's going to connect the top of it. We're going to open this up, get it all the way out, fold it together, sandwich it until it looks like that. You could hinge it down, but that's going to hinder things. And then take these pits, snap them off, fold down the piece that was connecting them, and now you've got thighs. And that's the first piece of Devastator. Now, each of the individuals can be transformed from either mode. It is actually easier to go from vehicle mode with long haul. So we're going to open up his legs. We're going to want to flip out these pieces. We're going to want to move the arms out of the way. And keep the waist here, but keep this piece is going to fold down there. And this stays, but the hips are going to move here, and this piece is going to lock right in there. Like that. Do the same thing on the other side. Tab them together. So now with the arms here, they're going to sort of tab into themselves. So there's a port right here that's going to peg in right in there. Which is I think, oh my god, I might be doing this wrong. Oh, it's right. Make sure the wheels are fully extended. Yeah, no, that's supposed to. Yep. Fully extended, and it's going to tab like that. And then separate, but tab back in. Hold on. I know those go together, but this... And if you forget, on the instructions that came with hook and long haul, there's a whole back section on every piece of Devastator. These are the Devastator ones, but I need the... Ah, right. You want them to go up like that. And there's a tab right there, a slot. So the arms are going to be partially what connects hook onto long haul. Make sure everything's locked in place. And then we're going to put long haul here. So on the massive connector, which separated itself. Dang it. Right there. And this piece will hook right in there to keep that solid. So now you have a solid midriff. You could have started at the legs if you wanted to, but I'm crazy enough to not do that. But speaking of Captain Hook, here he is. You're going to want to flip out that connector, fold down these feet. This connector, incredibly loose, so just lock it in. And we're going to take this piece and shift it from here over to here. This one, open up, rotate, close it back in. And we're going to take the arms, or just the sections, and we're going to fold them down to get them out of the way. Because he is going to split, well, sort of, it's not technically splitting, but like, he's going to hinge and snap right there. And so we have something that looks similar to this. Now I believe the legs are going to fold back in. One of the hands, yeah, this one tucks back in. This piece for some reason is not staying still. You're going to rotate the crane backwards. And I think I'll leave the dramatic head reveal. We shall connect hook, long haul. So this connector is going to go in the port there. And this connector is going to go in a port on hook's leg. Square port right there. And other tabs, one on the chest piece, one on the foot, are going to connect onto the forearms, the vestigial, and that tab on his arm is going to tab in to a slot right there. So connect, plug in, connect, plug in, and that's most of an upper body. It looks a bit sparse, but you'll see, you'll see. And he will hang out right there. We can cover some of it up. So we'll take this piece and these pieces, combine them, and they will form his chest panel, which you don't want to fully attach until you have the arms attached. But we can also take these two pieces and obviously combine them into a solar powered rifle. But then you also just have a bunch of guns lying around. We'll find places for those. And we're going to take these two things, which are obviously rocket pods. I mean, they even have a flip out peg. But more obviously, they're just housings for his hands, which then you want to rotate the fist because it's going to clamp on this piece on top with a peg right there. So then we're going to do the same thing. So we have a pair of hands. Clap. Give him a hand. So Bone Crusher is going to form this arm, the left arm. So we're going to rotate his legs down. And this piece also rotates down because that is going to be where the hand attaches. Now, there's a little piece right here. You fold that out. You hook the legs back together. And then you fold one of the ankles and you lock it in like that. And you have an arm. Let's give him his proper fist. So now you're going to want to take this, and you're going to want to slide it down until it fully locks in, which might be hesitant at first, but it also is going to, oh, I see. Long Haul's arm moved a bit. Kind of got in the way, but we're going to slide it on until it locks properly. And I believe it will also tab onto Long Haul. Come on, where are you? There we go. Or it did not. Something else went, I guess. Oh, come on. Yeah, there we go. And it's fully tabbed in. And there you have one arm. Come to Scavenger, our most recent review in this playlist. You're going to untab his legs, separate, very similar to Bone Crusher, but fold this purple piece in and fold this all the way out. And then since he's going to be sitting like this, you're going to want to fold it back in and do the same thing, only the pieces on the other side, I think. But tab them in and basically just fold in the bucket and leave it there. Now bring in the forearm, fold it, tab it in, lock it in. This is going to lock in a lot easier, I hope. Yep. A lot easier than Bone Crusher. Although it's not tabbing into Long Haul now. That's giving me friction for some reason. I think it'll be fine. And now we can attach the chest panel so right there it's going to attach there, and each wing has two tabs that are going to plug in to it right there. Like so. Make sure everything's lined up. There we go. And now we shall finish off with the legs. So to take Mixmaster, open up the front of the cab, rotate it up. His little hands are gonna untab because they lock that joint. Open this up, fold out that, and we're gonna just leave it like that. Scrapper. You're gonna want to fold out his digger, rotate the arms so they're down. Make sure they're locked in. And we're just going to open up his legs. So, to finish off, this is going to slide on there. And then the other piece, if it goes far enough. So it tabs in, basically on the inside. Tabs in there, and then this piece. Really? Come on. You're fighting. There we go. It's going to lock in like that. Mixmaster is just going to slide on right there and lock that in place. And to finish off this massive combiner, flip his head, tab his head in, make sure his leg doesn't separate on you, because apparently it wants to. Wasn't locked in enough. Rotate the head, fold open the top of his head to get his face out, tab it back down, and you're done. One Studio Series Devastator. And oh boy, is he a biggin'. He's a big green machine. Is he? Go. That had to be relocked, but yeah. My first Devastator of wallets. Everyone uses that joke. But I really like the big green fella. I never saw the Combiner Wars one in stores at all. I'm kind of glad, because even though this guy's slightly smaller than the Combiner Wars one, I think the overall package is a bit better. Both in like the individual robots and this combined mode. So, get a look at his massive cranium. In his snarling glory with the red visors. Just because he has a bigger cranium doesn't mean he has a bigger brain. The massive purple chest plate with wings, basically. And everything you've seen previously in reviews just all put together in one massive package, much like my own. So articulation wise, head is on a swivel. It has a awkward center of motion, but it works. And I guess, can you consider that an opening head gimmick? Can you consider that articulation? I don't know. It's kind of funny. Shoulders are here, so they can rotate forwards, go all the way out. Not quite full T. Close enough. How about Scavenger? Yep, he can do full T pose. Rotation as well. Bicep swivels. They each have bicep swivels. They have, unfortunately, hindered elbows. Bone Crushers is more hindered, which confuses me. But also, you can do that. You can. It's just mushroom pegged on there. He doesn't have much of heel support, unfortunately. So on a soft surface like this, I'm actually kind of surprised he's standing up at the moment. As you probably saw him about to fall over. So you can rotate this, and it's kind of hard to tell which way actually gets more elbow bend. I think this one actually. Definitely, like, yeah, I think sort of like inverted of what it wants you to do. Because I imagine it wants this piece forward like that. But the other way around, I think works better as the elbow. Gets slightly more range. And like, Scavenger can do that. He has a joint right there where Bone Crusher does not. He just kind of has an inward. But yeah, he also has an inward bend. So as an arm, Scavenger works better than Bone Crusher. Something this toy has a complete set that none of his individual components have. A waist joint! If you saw my review of Scavenger, you know you can fake it with like this joint to make a sort of waist swivel, but like it's only that far, but he actually has a waist swivel. And there have been no ratchets so far, but finally the hips gloriously ratcheted. You can no, you can't get this stuff out of the way to go back further, because it only slides down to hinder the waist swivel. So don't do that. Don't be a hindrance. So, yep, we saw we can go forwards. How about sideways? Yep, we can go sideways. No ratchets, unfortunately. That kind of sounds almost like it wants to ratchet, but knees. Oh, we got knees. And a thigh swivel first. Full thigh swivel. And oh, that's a bit. But you get 90-degree of knee bend. How about the other leg? Move this skirt up. Yep. And you have massive ankle tilt. This one's almost too heavy. Like, yeah, it's too strong for its own good. And now things are... There we go. Ugh. So, he does have a wrist, I forgot to mention, and an opening hand, which, yeah, I will admit, I wish he had more articulated fingers. But they can hold the rifle, and I believe Bone Crusher does not hold up the rifle very well. No, his elbow bent a little bit. Yeah, his elbow's a tiny bit. But not too much. And yeah, just give him in his right hand. He's obviously a righty. So this guy is huge. For size comparison, here's Thundercracker in his jet mode. And here is my previous combiner. Here's Superion. They're pretty close. Devastator's definitely taller. His joints aren't squeaky. That's a good thing. And they chose ratcheted ankles as opposed to ratcheted shoulders. You know, they could have put ratchets in the sideways, I think. But overall, he is as goddamn sturdy as a building. And I think I do recommend this entire set. It wouldn't surprise me if they put him out as a complete box set at some point. Like, that would be an expensive as hell box set. And I don't know how many people want to buy that, but I don't know. See if there's a market for the G2 colors. I'm sure there is. And I'm pretty sure there'll be at least some people who say, yeah, I'd rather wait for the multi-pack than buy them individually. Because even the Combiners one, even the Combiner Wars one didn't come out individual releases. It was all various box sets of what color do you want. So I think I recommend him. If you prefer the Combiner Wars version, that's fair to you. I've never messed with the Combiner Wars version, so I don't have a dog in that fight. I'm just going to start plugging guns into him, because these guns need to go somewhere. Ports on his back. He's got defense if somebody tries to attack him from behind. You can shoot out that. He can do other things, I'm sure. He's got a little vestigial tail right here. There might be too many guns to figure out where they all go. And I didn't even talk about the fiction, really, because with Transformers there are continuity errors often, predominantly in season 3 and later, but I think either Megatron made the Constructicons to combat Starscream, who had made Bruticus as an attempt, is like coup of the week. Or the Constructicons themselves made Megatron. But like, there's no real fictional things besides like they're big and they big, dumb, just there to fight, basically. I'm sure there is, I just haven't looked into it. And I'm also looking for a spot for this gun, because it's got a magazine that prevents it from going most places. I'll figure it out. And you know how some things just work out even if you didn't anticipate them? My Studio Series shelf is just tall enough to fit Devastator. I didn't do that on purpose when I built my shelves. It's just kind of a happy accident, I guess. He's going to go right there, right next to Megatron on the Studio Series shelf. If you feel like picking this big bastard up, I recommend him. He's a solid toy. Nothing's loose. The only things that you might want to shoulder joint. And if you're not fond of the wrists, you could probably replace them. But yeah, the shoulders might be something if you're not a fan of how they work. But overall, I think he's a really cool set. Although you can't buy him as a set yet. If you could. But Devastator, my friend, I think your duties here are done. We will move on from Devastator onto the next combiner. Because we're not done with combiners. No. Long way away from being done with combiners. But Devastator, he's cool. Yeah. He's gonna grab the camera. Until next time, keep it weird. And yes, I have played Transformers Devastation. Why do you ask? Oh, I know why. Because you want me to upload that playthrough. Bye. Giant robot kick to the face.